Let's go. Don't know for sure. Hit the blood. Hit the blood. Lah, kodo anu tadi saya lho aku.
Lah iya kene.
Oh lah,
Jaremu mangan.
kasih do aku mau metu masih udah lo tahu senang betul-betul.
Edit profil. 1 2 3 win or lose PMA only.
PMA yang betul.
Pesimis mental attitude. Iki centangnya bener kabeh dong. Kok ada di start deh. Aku tekan iki. Aku centang support gas.
Ramit bang.
Raiso aku udah nyentang KB salah satu.
Aku ya.
Wes
Coba dia lo.
start.
Apa yang di sini mau nonton One Piece?
Saya tanggal 21 ya.
Eh, bukannya saya gitu.
Saya tanggal biro 21 matullah.
Oh, paling soalnya gini aku sering rilisnya 17 paling tiketnya apa yo?
Pak iki paling apa pre-order paling.
Rame lah ya kayak.
Orang ngerti aku ya. Golek wae kok cuma kok di CGV sih sawe. Coba aku delok CGV.
Soalnya misalkan tiketnya dijual jauh-jauh hari, kemungkinan rame.
Lah iya
Masa
makanya
lah?
aku cek CGV delok stok tiketnya.
Enggak maksudnya kayak kayak Surabaya banyak sih loh dulu. Anime loh. Itu film-film biasanya loh. Maksudnya rame banget.
Soalnya kan ki terakhir kapan tuh One Piece sih? One Piece film.
Movie terakhir ki si Lanu lawan Bulet.
Bulletku yang DE jadi gede gue.
Heeh.
Ayo
Terakhir
selama
gue
2018 berarti gue.
20.
Stampede ki 2018 akhir, 2019 awal rilis 2 Februari.
Oh, bukan
Ah,
harus suwi.
oh, suwi John.
di bioskop sama masker double.
Your turn to ban.
Offline loh aku. Dota ya piye tah? Bareng gendong mid lane aku padahal.
5 seconds remaining.
Ano yun, tao offline yun. Mahal siya.
Aku MLC ya aku ge.
Ultimate
LC lah, aku MLC. Lah kowe iki regel weh Herald 5 mau keluar iki lho. Wah, iki yang tak enteni iki.
10 seconds remaining.
apa ya?
Apa maumu? Kowe golek save lane sing iso gendong. Aja selawan aneh-aneh.
Your turn to pick.
Nah, iki penyakit nek sniper ketemu kau ngene iki. Gimana?
Aja sniper kowe ya, kowe diincar karo iki custom spirit kowe. Ki OP meneh.
10 seconds remaining.
Jagar kah?
Ah, jaga rapi kowe, bebas.
5 seconds remaining.
Kok kan. Beli tangguh sampai 15 buat
Mantap.
petani.
Mantap.
Turn hut. Smart move. Absolutely.
Prepare for battle.
It's in the bag.
Easily. On it. On my way. Immediately. Yes.
Bags are of little consequence in the expanse of the cosmos.
Yes.
File mid nggak tuh? Why file mid?
Deploying.
Oh, stop.
Without a doubt.
30 seconds to battle.
Repositioning. Sound strategy.
Masih cok di mas. Berubah-berubah cok di mas.
Take the field.
Got to.
The battle begins.
Yes. If they want war, and we shall give it to them. If you insist.
The lesson for
On it.
you is never try.
Tactical. Flanking. Yes. Aye. Orders received. Yes. Orders received. On it. Charge! Aye. To the vanguard!
Don't be lost.
If you insist. Flanking. Yes. Tactical.
Denied.
Attack!
Let's see. May the light.
Last of my kind. This
Well fought.
Yield.
On it. They will be overrun. Sound strategy.
Oh mau delete anu nih list level.
Without a
tengahnya,
doubt.
Kontrai.
Bener kok.
Repositioning.
Manik.
Yes. Smart move. Take the field. Deploy. On my way. Closing in.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
I'm under attack. I have you now. Easily. Absolutely. Bring it on! Denied! Tactical. Engaging. Yes. Smart move.
No, what the heck? Aduh, kecil.
Denied.
Deploying.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Sound strategy. On it. Take the field. Flanking. Easily. To battle! Without a doubt. Aye.
I will be fine.
If you insist. Orders received. Attack!
I just love to.
Yes.
Where are you?
Small victories. Up the rush of battle. On my way.
Radiant's
Wah,
courier
baik loh.
has been killed.
Gimana attack?
On it. Immediately. Yes. Repositioning. Stand down. Absolutely. On my way.
This will provide.
Aye. Yes. Yes. Next round's on me. Charge!
Musim next assassin musim.
Yes. Immediately. I'm under attack!
This will hasten my
Smart. It's not time. Press the attack!
Kilang kan? Benar benar itu.
On it.
Kira-kira pas.
To battle! Yes?
Your middle tower is under attack.
Orders received. Without a doubt. Flanking. Weakling. Let's see you bleed. Closing in. Tactical. If you insist. Triage. To the vanguard. On it. Absolutely. Aye.
No.
Repositioning.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Bring it on.
Yud,
Take the
Oi.
field.
si Cora, coba ini Yud, yang
udah.
tak kirim.
Udah dikasih.
Oh ya oke.
Itu. Makasih Mat.
Oke.
Oke.
Attack.
Lanjut apek ya aku.
Santai.
Attack.
Terus gayeng ya. Piye ti Wanra lolos sih piye iki?
Sound strategy.
Mas Den sih.
Wes kalah, Pak. Kalau Polaris, Pak.
Kalah ya ro Polaris. Maju ya tok Polaris. Bet-betane
Wah, katanya tetap.
telu banding 1 lho Yud ning One Expert Yud.
Iya lah. Tapi Talon strong sih Talon ya.
Take the
Iya
field.
sih. Mergo si Sapage
Charge.
Bisa.
ini
Lanjut.
duluan ya.
Iya.
Jadi sih ampun.
Orders received.
to restore the void within.
Dipakai Gus.
Not yet. Without a doubt. Turn the tables. I'm just getting started. Yes. Easily. Next. Yes.
Ya Allah gagal
Repositioning.
ngebring ah.
Your middle tower is under attack.
You will
Agak sekiranya
fall.
jungle ya.
Absolutely.
Oke, itu ngebring.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Smart move.
Oke aja full cast filter lu. Full cast ke loro sih ke.
Bring it on.
Masa Yo
Yes.
ini ngebring apa aku itu jadi ngebring gagal loh anu. Hilang loh jadi.
Kamu selesai.
Engaging.
Ya hilang lah.
Ruin your ranks. On it. On it. Attack! Let's see you bleed. Yes. Attack!
Sakit ya.
I'm not ready. Oh! Sound strategy. On my way!
Karena ini clearance betul banget tuh.
It's
Aku
not
anak ulti
time
aku
yet.
Aku anak ulti soalnya kursi mana?
To the vanguard!
Dire's structures are fortified.
To battle! Closing in! Immediately. I'm not ready. Yield!
Your middle tower is
You
under
will
attack.
fall! Attack! No, you know. Not yet! Deploying. Aye. I have you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. To battle! Closing in! Tactical. Flanking. Immediately. Bring it on! If you insist. Aye. Smart. I'm not ready! Overwhelming odds. I'm under attack! To the vanguard!
Itu beli osek wae kuwi.
Mm-hmm.
The enemy's top tower has fallen.
Rame lho, guys. Durung olin kabeh kuwi.
Your middle tower is under attack.
I'm not ready. I'm not.
I get 1, 2, where are you?
Your top tower is under attack.
What?
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Absolutely. It's not time yet.
Asu apik banget.
Not yet.
Wah, mainnya
Your
kuat kaleng
middle
banget
tower
berarti.
is under attack.
It's not time yet.
Gini, guys.
Not yet. Yes. Weakling. Let's see you bleed. Flanking. On my way. On it. It's not. Take the field. I'm. Come on, you're dead. We weren't finished. It's not time yet.
Why you mad? Why you mad?
Sound strategy.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Deploying.
Marah-marah.
Orders
Gendong
received.
ngambil game
Your
aku.
middle tower has fallen.
Marah-marah.
Mm-hmm. It's not time
Ini
yet.
berarti ya.
Kowe ora mesti loro sih kowe iki kandhane. Skill telu kan jadi tipu. Skill telu ki siji wae.
Charge!
Malah kowe kepul ke skill telu.
Repositioning.
Bisa ngekill dia emang gue skill sih kan.
It's not time over here. Not yet. I'm under attack. On it. How did you?
Dire structures are fortified.
Nah, nang laning kalau ini kasih bangsat. I get that, where are you?
You're not contagious.
I underestimated them. It will not happen again. Yes.
Oke. Ini kosong. Kam.
Tactic.
Your top tower is under attack.
On it.
Oke.
Deploying.
Your top tower is under attack.
I'm not ready. Orders received. I'm
Your top
not
tower is under
ready.
attack.
Yes.
Go.
Without a
Ngomong
doubt.
nek
Top
ultine
tower
rono.
has fallen.
It's not time yet.
Go.
Blinking. Overwhelming. Attack.
Such affairs are beyond.
If you insist. Not yet.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Yes.
Your top tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen.
Look at me go.
Yes. Fall. On my way. Not yet. Tactical. It's not time yet.
Ulti, sirane ulti. Oh no shit.
I'm not ready. Sounds It's not time yet. Yes.
Entah siapa yang harus
Not yet.
saya dan semua yang ku punya
Immediately.
indah tapi tak sempurna.
Lo ono kok dari gede.
Pada luar soalnya.
Iki koncoku
Take the field.
3 lebih 6.
On it.
The
Absolutely.
enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Yes. I'm not ready. Bring it on. Yield. I'm under attack. lost. Now's the time! Yes. It's not time yet. Aye. Not yet. Reposition. It's not time. Rally! I'm not ready!
Gue banter bos.
Udah kira weh, tak selamat ya. Lepas sih skill satu.
I'm sure.
Kalau mau dibalik.
Kurang menit.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Saya agak keren weh.
Aduh.
Ada. Overwhelming. What do they make?
A bauble from the void.
If I cannot outsmart them, I will outfight them.
Cek. Berapa sini?
Tactical. Press the attack. Ado, I'm under attack.
Gue mati meneh bangsat. Kau jauh.
Now's the time.
Tak kasih itu.
Ready. Deployed. It's not time yet. Not yet.
I'll take that
On my
as
way.
tribute.
Orders received. Not yet. I'm not ready. Yes. It's not time yet. I'm not ready. Attack! Not yet.
Ya.
Immediately.
Illusion.
It's not time yet. Flanking. Without a doubt. Turn the tables. On it. Sound strategy. I challenge you.
Serang aku, tak kasih skill serang aku.
On my way.
Tengah hasil sembur.
Wah, strongnya hoki banget lu, gue mau lengkap.
It's not time yet. Yes. Not yet. Let's see what you're made of.
Satu rasa nih.
I'm under attack.
Laras ya, Cuk.
Sweet senses.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Indah tak sempurna.
destroyed, no matter the cost. Sound strategy. Easily. A warm-up. To the vanguard! I'm not ready. On it. Turn the table. Take the field.
Nggak ulti siran ya podo wae, anteng-antengan aku kayak wong edan.
Flanking. Absolutely. Deploy. Yes. I'm not ready.
Ya Allah, apa ini?
I'm under attack.
Diorkit loh aku.
Repositioning. Another down. When the time is right, we will strike. Orders received.
Gak apa-apa.
I'm not ready!
Your
Yes.
bottom tower is under attack.
It's not time yet. Not yet.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I'm not ready! Smart move.
Your middle tower is under attack.
It's not time yet.
Radiant structures
Repositioning.
are fortified.
Not yet. Without a doubt. Orders received.
Your middle tower has fallen.
Yes. I'm not ready! Smart move.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
John!
Nggak mau kalau kena gitu.
Attack! Sound strength. Overwhelming odds.
Your bottom tower is
Not
being
time
denied.
yet. Not yet. Deploying. I'm not ready. They'll never know what hit them. Yes. Take the field. Flanking. Yes. Easily. On it. Tactical. On my way. On it. Absolutely. Press the attack. Aye.
Wah. Tahu.
Yes.
Negasiran mas. Ayo charge Kyopi.
If you insist.
Lotus. Come.
Easily. Now's the time! Nothing beats the prey. Deploy it. Ruin your ranks.
Kok cancel deh garing nonton.
Orang-orang
Without a doubt.
gitu.
Ayo, forward.
Flanking. Yes. It's not time yet. Orders received. Tactical.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
It's not time yet.
Entah
On it.
siapa yang harus ku
I'm
percaya.
not ready. Repositioning.
Asli tenan.
Not
Asli.
yet.
Asli Pak Eko.
Not yet. I have you now. I'm not ready. Aye. Smart move. It's not time yet. Yes. It's not time yet. Turn the tables. On my way. I'm not ready. Not yet. Sound strategy.
Where apa? Iki. Kristal.
Sedangkan vision mah.
Iki,
On
pakai,
it.
pakai.
Absolutely. Yes.
Waduh bapak iki. Bapak Inyong.
Immediately. If you
Untuk megawe play.
take the field. Yes. Overwhelming odds. Absolutely. Fall. Deploying. On my way. Easy. Yes. I'm under attack!
Wah, tidur bulan.
Yes.
Balik. Kemana? Udah sering main nih Armut.
Retreat? Ha. Never heard of
Tekan pos.
sound strategy. Aye. It's not time yet. Engaging. Not yet. Smart move. Crush. To battle! If you insist. I'm I'm not ready! Let's see. Orders received. It's not time yet. Flanking.
Dire's structures are fortified. Your top tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Yes.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
I'm not ready. I'm not ready!
Your top tower is under attack.
Take the field! Without a doubt. On it. On it. Yes. Sharper still. Fight me! Closing in. I'm under attack! Hey!
Your top tower has fallen.
It's not time yet.
Alah.
On it.
Your top tower is under attack.
Not yet. If you insist. Oh! On my way. About time. I'm not ready. Take the field.
Carry way, Qualifier dan tempatnya.
It's not time yet. Tactical. Repositioning. Not yet. I'm not ready. Flanking. Another down. Attack! I'm not ready. Smart move. Yes.
Roshan has fallen to the down.
Immediately. Not yet. Yes. Without a doubt. On it. It's not time yet. Deploying. Easily. Yes. Rally! They're dead! This day is not
No, kan. Dian first. Naga siren mas.
on my way.
Rancid.
I'm not ready.
3 detik dulu.
Yes.
Aku OP.
On it.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Immediately.
Main deh. Nekropos. Nah, ini baru tinggalan satu di sini.
Di masa.
Tahil Git. Dia gitu.
Rally! To the vanguard.
Ya hoki banget sumpah.
Repositioning.
Kita isi mana sih?
Aye.
Ngisi. Ker ngising raw.
Yes. Warm up.
Bring dash. We can face assassin.
Smart move.
Aku.
Ah, so carry godas, hina banget. Rosan your mom.
Yes.
That's a strange
You
manner
will
of
fall.
That's a strange manner of conduct.
Gini.
Yes.
Ano, kasih nih.
Oh, ini gue no. Tapi order ini baik.
Absolutely. I'm under
Fight
attack.
is slow now.
Take the field.
Salah nih.
Orders received. Press the attack.
Kalau ada kira nangis bro. Bangsat.
Like lu pas warung ini. Biasaan. Mati kah?
Mati cok gue.
Semua.
Juggernaut!
Lah, burung. Nyata blazing.
Blazing asu.
Cannot maintain will always fall.
Wah, yang mau pakai mental.
Seklannya kayak aku, seklan.
Udah aku pakai mentalnya.
Butterfly, Radiance. Ahras 4000 darahnya.
Without a doubt. Small fire.
Ikimu lumayan.
Sound
Partai
strategy.
Udah penting support.
Not
Tapi
yet.
kan gue kok ngindari
Tactical.
kan lumayan.
It's not time yet. It's not time yet. Not yet. Flanking. Deploying. Immediately. Orders received. If you insist. On it.
Kena ya. Kita gini.
It's not time yet. Reposition.
Katanya.
On my way. I'm not ready. Aye.
Ngejar buri deh.
On it. I'm not ready. Sound strategy. Easily. Yes. Smart move.
Welcome to the secret shop.
Deploying. Take the field! Without a doubt.
Posisinya.
Rally!
Gas. Gas mana? Isa. Nah, Isa. Undur orang jangkauan anjing.
Radiant structures.
Kit aja dikit, ada di lateral itu.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Dua kira kowe.
Yes.
Kira tak tebak kowe.
Engaging.
Dire structures are fortified. Your top tower is under attack.
Nenek aku kata aku
Bottom
denger.
tower has fallen. Dire structures
Lah,
are
peluru lu.
fortified. Your
Tower
top
1,
tower
aku
is
TP atas,
under attack.
aku TP atas.
On my way.
The enemy's bottom barrel. The enemy's bottom barrel.
Yes.
Prosan isap.
Charge! Orders received. I'm not ready. On it. It's not time yet. Attack! Stop her still. Repositioning. Not yet.
Rasa aja gitu ya.
Yes. Easy. Smart move. This will do nicely. Tactical.
Right to the
Yes.
top.
If you insist. Absolutely.
Bentar, guys.
It's not time yet. Immediately. It's not time yet.
Your Shan has fallen to the Radiant.
Not yet.
Fatality.
Take the field.
Ayo.
Without a doubt. Yes.
Palsu. Yang real ada badaknya.
Aye. Turn the tables. On it. To battle! Ah! Mm-hmm. Deploy. Pressing attack. I challenge you!
Wah,
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
I'm not ready! Yes. It's not time yet. If you insist. I'm under attack! Take the field! I'm not ready! Orders received. Do!
gak apa-apa, ada laki aku. Biasa nih. Gak kena. Ancer kayak dengerin dong. Beli
The
ya.
enemy's middle barracks. The
Dengerin.
enemy's middle barracks has fallen.
Sound strategy.
Terkentit kamu ya. Terkentit kamu ya.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Without a doubt.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. Radiant victory.
Victory for the...
Nggak logis lagi nih. Harusnya muka aku yang terpampang nih. Ini nggak logis lagi nih game gini. Tahu nih, gitu ya jadi scam no. Aku harusnya MVP nih, aku gak enjoy.
Akhirnya anunya iso mati lho. Angel lho mati kuwi.
Laga siren.
Heeh.
Nah,
Apa
misal
mana item?
misalnya dikeroyok tetap mati. Nah, misalnya 5 ngincer DED pertama ya tetap kalah. Makanya ngincer buri-buri.
Asasinnya kecut tawet mau tak culik Rocky OP ini anjing.
Nekrone ra iso apa-apa ya. Kenal.
Padahal kayak early ini di polo-polo kayak karena necro we.
Tak mau genti. Utane apa jek kok sharp mau.
Iki dhuwure menang kabeh yo klane.
Sore ya omongannya.
Sore ngomong rata.
Kiki aku menit 20 we top net worth aku. Fujiger gue nomor 6 dari bawah gue, nomor 6 gue. Tapi late game ya beda.
Jelas.
Jelas lebih nikmat. Wih, aku udah 6.000, naga sirennya masih 4.000 loh. Tapi berarti jungle deh. Jungle langsung endure deh.
Gelo ae sirane.
Wow gitu kan. Iki lho, ditik 8.000 lho mongan bangsat. Apa wae gitu mau.
Dia raga iki. Dia
Nah,
raga
Dragon.
aganimnya OP padahal ya.
Dragon kan.
It's never dark enough.
Isone ulti melayu.
song grows sweeter.
Emang iso nggo mlayu ultine.
Isa.
Iso ya kuwi.
Kayak
Dasane
Baru ngono njuk mlayu.
iya, nek kowe BKB ya ora apa-apa, nek kowe BKB tetep kena.
Jadi ki pas dadi gumpulan tanah iso nyerang bareng ya lho, nyetun ngeroti ilangi
Your
mana.
turn to ban. Five seconds remaining.
Itu 86. Oke.
Support Lina offline iki shape.
Your turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining.
5 seconds remaining.
Wah, ilang kabeh kae. Apa ngantuk deh.
Turu. Kesehatanmu lah yang utama.
This one's in the back.
Prepare for battle.
Oh, I'm all a quiver. This one is in the bag.
Di double ora karo pakai gue.
Dan panas banget hawannya.
Udah menang gak deh? Nek kalah kudune panas, nek kalah.
30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
Yo, this guy has no children.
Dispose ribbon. Dispose.
Mine!
First blood.
You, my friend, got owned.
Mati kan, DP deh.
Halo. Yeay.
Kok lagi lo, magic one lo.
Ayo, satu. Yeay. Thank you, Bang. Bun. Orang ini mau.
Apa kowe tunjuk TP kowe?
Kepetes aku kiri kilo, lagi lo. Nah. Ya.
Santai.
Dan terjadi lagi.
Rapopo sekarat ke wae.
No. Dia sengaja hit pas ana skill ini.
DPW. Bener, hilang.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Nak ketok. Bisa kok takil apa nudas. Kowe maju kowe ngono kowe. Nah, ngono wae rawo. Tunggu.
Yo.
Bro dia apa kowe ngilang. Lala kebak mendarat. Anak pakai lo. Kau melayu ya? Aku mati rawa melayu ya.
Your bottom tower is under
Sentry kan
attack.
ya.
Lari-lari mengejar dinding.
Dire's structures are fortified. Your bottom tower is under attack.
Buat teater
Your middle tower is under attack.
Ini ono sentry kok ya kok. Betul-betul.
Iya kita ya. Gak lewat. Kita matiin. Oke, dead progress season. Ayo. 2 skill sisir aku.
Betul. Siap, bro. Ya aku no. Wah, terus.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Terak aku. Bonti atur saya. Klik nih. Tandaku. Kene. Ayo, gas sampai ke apa? Hilang.
Your top tower is under attack.
Dalang setan.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
I prolong the inevitable. You didn't see that coming.
Check it. Lah iya kowe kuwi lho ada aku bareng geng beda.
Ini jalan tower. Nah, lo gue sih terasa ya, Pak.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Ini itu baik kok ya. Kok jerat-jerat yang ini.
Well gotten nails.
Give.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Halo Bang Calvin Hernando.
Dire structures are fortified.
Hari-hari berat Bang.
Your top tower is under attack.
Mundur.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Tak saudara saya.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Jax, start plotting. We have revenge tonight.
Ngejar, dikejar. Kok naruh big barang? Rame gitu.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Your middle tower is under attack.
The enemy's top tower has been denied.
Waduh.
Kayak kanggo iki lho kowe. Jit,
Apa?
Your bottom
gue lepas
tower
sesmat
is
dulu.
under attack.
bikinnya kayak aku. Kowe ngaku proses mas.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack.
Dan apa sih?
Dan
You made your choice, Nikki, and I made mine.
Dire's
oke langsung
turret
muter
has
lo
been
tak
killed.
kasih ciuman. Tangannya apa bang? Tangannya apa bang?
Kapan dengan kayak kesal. Udah sepatu gitu.
Dire structures are fortified. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
Iki range kok le nepet-nepet musuh.
Kowe delok ora aku diulti puke ameh mlayu pun ya mati ya ning kono.
Atanah wae, atanah.
Golek
Ben auto.
sih.
Berapa move on.
Wilone kok anggo iki mbok tak nggone.
Your middle tower is under attack.
Carry kita ya Willow nih bang sih. Ini kira move. Salah kamu.
Bravo.
Salah kamu.
Oh, bangset.
My just reward.
Tak ngono ya.
Your actions are without merit.
Ono what lho ning kene.
Kowe ngerti? Wall hack kamu ya?
Oh, enggak ketok mau. Baru lagi kamu.
Aku yang ketrek kok. Iki meneh kompone wong loro iki. Iki meneh ket mau iki.
Partai yut. Meter kok romo tak DPM bes kuwi marake apa jenenge? Kayak soba kuwi.
Ya wis.
Baru kuwi rampung lagi tok. Terus iku kok ngono ndelala aku malah sebalik arahnya meneh. Bel kowe ora tok tarik.
Regeneration.
Wah, pertanian nih farming kabeh.
Apa mek geng ra iso bro. Terengi.
Did I hear a
Your middle tower is under
Ngomong
attack.
sama tadi Bounty Hunter tak? Lainnya Raisa ya. Temen yang ngawali aku bangsat. Terus Sim.
Siapa lagi yang mau jadi offline?
Nirmi, Lina.
Bang. Iki yo.
Di kiki ngendi. Maju ke.
Riki woi.
bottom tower is under attack. Money to burn.
Sabar butuh proses bersabar.
Sila nyekil sih apa ya.
Tahu arwah kudus.
Get up if you
Yang menang
can.
meloton aja. Jit. Ya kalau gaya atem tak.
Jadi orang
Another.
oke sih. Buri kan.
Ora iso diincar arana iki, arana orchid.
Baru di sini
Siapa?
support tuh.
Support paling berguna ini dari tadi.
Gak mau dibawa kemana?
Ora lah.
Salah apa? Sing go apa? Tanda itu kilo.
Jaluk nek ora ono.
Well gotten,
Udah nih.
Hmm?
Udah nih Jackson jadi butuh ini.
Aku ini sama.
Malah konten ini. Saya ditekan langsung lewat.
Yo, this guy has no chill, man.
拜托谁去杀了他吧。
Oke, buat jantar gini. Gini. Santai nih. Malah di kayak bendera.
Ngomongnya kok gini.
Ya orang kan sentrinya neng kene. Iki. Gas lah ya. Kena Fir iso apa dah?
Atau kayak ketok gitu sama ini.
Another life for the teammates.
Kasih mau main sama.
Taken before my time.
Sini, balik. uang loh saiki kene.
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
PKBC.
Oke, stop. Go. Bounty hunter, go. Oh my god, Lina, why you so afraid, bro?
Invisibility.
Stun. Stun. Nice stun.
Ya.
Kok gem deh.
Such a brittle life. Fire grows hungrier the more it's fed.
Regeneration.
breaks.
Apa?
Buka sebentar.
Ilune keras tenan.
Ya aku lagi batin ya.
Ini sudah kalau ini Bloodhound lah.
Wis sana 2 orchid. Asah.
Ya lu siapa ya?
Bebas.
My just reward.
Derosan.
Die with me.
Put me out.
Oh, this guy has no chill, man.
What's your father's secrets? Look out!
Ya Allah, ngefir mana? Oh, kok sih ki Rupi ngevar ngefir wae iki?
Agane sarte iki lho. Jadi ngepir ya.
Iki dhek ulti yo koyo kena setane ngefir ngono, Bu.
Ora skill lorone sing ngedote lho nek wis pirang detik ngefir. Wow, la presa de Muhammad.
See the flames. enemy's bottom tower has fallen.
Iya, Lina lagi.
Will not rise in my presence.
Dire's structures
拜
are
托谁去杀
fortified.
了他吧！拜托谁去杀了他吧！
The enemy's bottom tower has fallen. The enemy's bottom barracks has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack.
Unstoppable double kill.
Your middle tower has fallen. Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Chat lah karo wage lu aneh pol.
Ada lagi ke sono. Alah. Hei.
Oh, this guy has no chill, man.
Makan sek weh ultimu.
Your
Ben nambah
bottom
darah.
tower is under attack.
Makan weh tengkorakmu dewe.
Anak aku dong sana.
Your bottom tower is under attack. Your bottom tower has fallen.
Bang.
Your top tower is under attack. has fallen.
Mari pulang, marilah pulang, marilah pulang bersama-sama.
Well-gotten gains.
Marilah pulang.
Stay healthy, stay moving.
Your shrine has fallen to the radiant.
Kisih saya tahu ya cah bagus.
Immortality! They just
Give me that stop moving.
The enemy's middle tower has fallen. The enemy's middle barracks has fallen. The enemy's middle barracks has fallen. The enemy's middle tower has fallen. The enemy's middle tower has fallen.
It is no great.
Your top tower is under attack. Radiant victory.
You're never cashing in that
Time to sink
Kegampangan
or
ya?
swim.
Matamu, kok ini gampang banget tuh dah dulu.
Wah, soalnya karakterku masuk terus sih, jadi kegampangan bagiku. Kalian main sih, aku tak golek mangan sih.
Oh, laran sih.
Piye kalian? Road Crusader kapan kalian nih? Pas 3 kali lu streak win streak loh kita.
Rating bang, save lane bang.
Terus aku makan sih ngelih tenan aku.
Oke.
Kayak golek mangan sih kono, kesehatan yang utama.
Laran sih Indes.
Yo.
Oh, Indas.
Namanya what? Gila.
There's some flex on hand with Talon. But I think they have. Better than KP. I mean, some of his specials are there. Master, so they still respect Bandit KP here on the end. They leave the Savage Slark as an option and they go with the Lelouch Ember. Another highly mobile hero. There's not much lockdown from Talon, especially if they run the Undying as a core. Like, you're gonna lack some really good control for the Ember. He's just free to zip around here.
5 seconds.
Yeah,
remaining.
this is another Lelouch special. Like, you saw the mid laner. He's now got his Ember. This is another signature hero of the man. And it seems like Polaris, they just keep going back towards these comfort picks. Why the hell not? Again, game one was so dominant. They may as well just go for their comfort drafts and go with that. We'll see what Talon can pick up now for their own third pick. They'll have a bit of a think about it when it comes to the reserve time. Just minute 15 left here for Talon. Maybe just reveal the position 4 of Q. Keep that Pango kind of a secret as to where it's going. Just keep it flexible here between Makoto and KP. Q on that Rubik last game around. Like, he got the Ags up, he got the Aether Lens up, but just never really had an opportunity to do anything. The spell stills, like, he was trying to get the Heavenly Grace, he was trying to get the Purification. It just never felt like the Rubik had any impact that game, and I'm sure Q's feeling like he really needs to step it up for game 2, because it just felt like he... Honestly, I kind of forgot a Rubik was in the game at that point in game 1.
Dire team.
Yeah, they weren't able to steal anything significant. I think AU did a great job of just managing to block off the Guardian Angel steals there as well. They go with a Shaker here for Talon, which has been really popular in these qualifiers. And that should be our cue here on the offlane, but the concern then is it's another hero that relies on the blink. It can lock in the Ember, but you've got to play really well in the fog. You know, you've got to have pretty good control on the map and just be able to sneak up to the Ember. It's not quite that instantaneous lockdown you'd get with, say, a Hex hero on hand. So there's still some play here for Polaris if they do manage to get that early map control and get the vision out. Not going to be an easy game to kind of clear out. And they go with a Shadow Demon, so some flex on hand here. Probably just considering running the core Undying overall. So maybe a Shadow Demon and Earthshaker support duo. That can give you the good lockdown. That is a good response to the Omni Knights as well, as we saw Polaris themselves run up against T1. So you do have some answers on hand to remove that protection and some hold to kind of keep that Ember locked in if you can chain stun him off the disruption. So I like seeing that from Talon. It does fix some issues out. The Disseminate as well, right? With how the damage app works with a bunch of heroes. Shaker does play really nice on top of that. Even stuff like Undying and Pangolier. Lots of AoE damage to bounce off each other.
Yeah. To see how they make this SD work. We haven't seen many teams find too much success with it. Talon, they can in this game too. Polaris Esports, 4th pick for them. Reserve time is being ticked down, but they'll go right back for the Viper. Force, yeah, he had a great game. He just did his job. Dominate the lane, dominate the mid game. I really appreciated the early shards pickup as well, because as you can see, Force is trying to speedrun the grand final right now. That suitcase is still sitting there. The shards pickup, it worked, right? Because you had your power spike 15 minutes into the game. Go shards, get all the tier 2 towers, and just go high ground at 20 minutes. It made a lot of sense, and with the proper execution, it's actually very, very powerful.
It really is. Like, with the buffs you get from the Marcy onto that core hero with the minus armor you're giving onto the objectives, it just melts. You don't have something like the Lina to kind of provide you that really big push from the backline, though. So it does feel a little bit slower for Polaris, and unless they find something really quick here for Natsumi. I mean, you've got options for, say, Terrorblade. You've got options for, say, the Luna, even the Medusa is not too bad. Heck, maybe even a Drow. Although Drow into the Pangolier is a little bit more awkward. You do have enough jump from Talon to kind of cut that hero off. But they still have some ways of playing this really quick. And Talon, for their part, I mean, they're going to have to pick up first. They do ban out the PA. but they can just lock in and focus on what Natsumi might want to play. And all of those push heroes are still on hand there from the pause 1. And you do have the Shadow Demon to kind of steal them back and take some of that damage back in the form of your own illusions here. But that tends to only feel really big towards the late game. So early on, it's just not going to really stop that momentum from Polaris. They respect ban the TA out. But again, all the push options are still there, Mike.
They are. One more ban to come. Polaris, for those position 1s of Savage. I was thinking heroes like Terrorblade and Luna and things with the Shadow Demon where you can really start abusing the illusions with the disruption. I mean, Luna maybe not so much, but TB still seems to be a pretty good pickup, though. Against the Viper lane can be pretty rough. I wonder what Polaris is thinking here for this final POS 1 ban. And I wonder what Savage is thinking in terms of POS 1 pickups. You still have options like the Slark as well, which has been quite potent recently, but it feels like it's more so picked into heroes like Morphling. That's not available right here. They'll get rid of the Naga. Savage, he's rubbing his hands, he looks happy. He'll get the Slark.
Yeah, I think it's still good here. Like, even if Guardian Angel stops you, you're still stealing stats. You are a Nullifier builder as well. You've got AoE save coming out here for the Slark. Mind you, Slark versus Viper lane is still pretty atrocious.
10 seconds
And I still expect Force to have a really good time there to keep Savage down. So this could still be very rough for Talon. And Slark, if it does fall behind in farm, it can bounce back, but it does feel like it takes a while. Like, almost like you're waiting for the level 25 for the better essence shift. So it just means another stall game for Talon if things go south from the laning phase. And for Polaris, again, all that momentum-based heroes here are still on hand. Luna, Terrorblade for them, can just get a push going fast. Drow, again, not very popular, but still achieves that same goal of really fast push as well if you want it. And it doesn't feel like the worst thing in the world. You're mainly worried about, say, a Pango blink timing. Should be able to protect until then. They go with a Phantom Lancer instead, which Natsumi found a lot of success on. And the AoE clear of Talon is pretty limited. I mean, you've got Swash and Slam, but to rely on a big Slam on a PL, they're usually fast enough to dodge that out.
Yeah, I mean, just from the draft perspective, you look at the Earthshaker, you think to yourself, like, wait, isn't Earthshaker a counter to PL? Not really, and it hasn't been a counter for many years, it feels like. It's just so hard to land the Slam in that perfect position onto the Phantom Lancer. So many ways to juke it out with Doppelganger as well, and chances are you're just going to be out of mana in the team fights anyway. Diffuse Blade comes up, Earthshaker does not have the greatest mana pool, pretty easy to get through it. You have heroes like the Ember Marcy to jump the backside and find Q anyway. So I don't think it's going to be an easy game for Q on this Shaker. And again, against the PL, I think just at glance value, people still think that Echo Slam is a really good counter for the PL, but it really hasn't felt that way in quite a long time. At least for a few years.
To be fair, the damage output of Shaker in Echo with a lot of illusions is still high. The issue is landing it. It's not really the damage, I think. It's just landing it on PLs. They're just very elusive as the game drags on. Their Doppelganger is just an obnoxiously low cooldown, so you will want to start with something else. You know, maybe get a good roll-up, jump in first with Mikado. It's easier said than done. As I mentioned, there's still issues for the backline, and Polaris, again, they find themselves a really good draft to play with here. They've got that speed, that momentum they're picking up from the win they found over T1, and for Talon, it's looking shaky. It's still game 1 out of best of 5 that they've lost. We're only on game 2, but yeah, as you mentioned, Mike, that game 1 is very important.
Well, give it to me, John. Predictions. We've got 4 predictions here to make. I'd love you to make some guaranteed predictions here. We all need some battle pass points. Give it to us, John. What are they?
Roshan kills, probably. This could be a long game, maybe 4. I can see it dragging up to the 4th Rosh. Player with the highest net worth by 25. I definitely see this more on Natsumi this time around. Total number of smoke gang kills by 10. That one's a bit hard to call. Sometimes smoke gangs, they don't generally come out in the first 10 minutes, so probably 0. And teams with the most kills at game end, honestly, probably Polaris. Talon, their lineup, once it tapers off pretty hard. So Polaris just covered all their bases, and this draft just looks excellent once more coming out from AU.
It certainly does. We'll see if they can pull it off, though. It's one thing to have a good draft. It's another thing to actually be able to kind of run this draft and make it work. Talon, after that game one, they didn't look happy. They need to reset. They have a much better draft, I would argue, going into this game, but it does feel like there's going to be a hell of a lot of pressure once again on Makoto. He's got to set a tempo this game. And Savage on this Slark. He's been really good recently on this Slark, but he's very, very important. He is carrying the team by himself. There's no one else that's going to be able to back him up later on in this game, as Fisher is there. Q, he won't be able to block in the Ember. And in fact, Hyde and Savage, they will try to rush, but Xavius has already found the other bounty rune. And it looks like Polaris, they're going to get away with the 3-for-1 trade on the bounty. So a bit of an advantage to get this game one started. And speaking of starting the game, let's start with the mid lane. Lelouch on his signature Ember, going to be against Makoto on his signature Pango. How is this lane meant to go?
It's a little bit more back and forth. There's more play here for Makoto in comparison to laning up against Lina. But Lelouch should still be able to have a bit of a better time. I mean, Amber harassment with Sleight of Fist is just obnoxious and not something Makoto can always dodge out as well. And we're already seeing a lot of that.
Force, he's already gone. Q, able to set up along with Hyde. They ran a tri-lane to get started, and it does work out. It doesn't seem like Polaris were expecting the tri-lane start whatsoever.
Nice try. This is a good change-up for Talon. They understand that Viper's early lanes or early laning levels are pretty bad. You just show up, get the chain stunts off, and just punish with Savage. You can just build up a lot with the Essence Ship. I mean, you've gotten off lane Undying for KP anyway, so it doesn't need that much help.
We go again. This time Q is not going to be able to break the gap to get the Fisher off. Xavius is the one to take the damage. They'll know Q is still around here. They should also know there is an observer ward around that area that they are still under. But Q is not backing off. It seems like they are going to commit to the tri-lane.
Yeah, just kind of be aggressive and force, secure Savage's strong start. Again, you've got an Undying offlane. He doesn't care that much. He does enjoy solo EXP anyway. And to be fair, KP's doing a good job of just running down Natsumi. Like, once the decay is up, the PL can't really trade all too well. So you're having a pretty decent way of just changing your conditions here on Talon's end. For Polaris, I don't think this is the end of the world. Like, Natsumi's still going to be able to farm up pretty damn well here. Once the levels are up, I don't expect KP to really have massive kill threat there with the protection of AU. And once KP runs out of mana, this lane's pretty dead for him anywhere.
Absolutely. See AU coming eventually on the Omni Knight and start trading a bit of harass with KP, but like you said, KP doesn't really need the help. He's fine. Question is, can Talon keep the aggression up with this tri-lane? So that's one thing, right? When you run a tri-lane, you're going to have both supports kind of struggling for XP throughout the game. You are going to need to give them time to catch up, but it can be a little bit awkward. In fact, hold that thought, because Disruption is there to set up once again. Force is being chased by Q. Fisher not out yet, and the TPs are incoming. Instead, they'll try on to Xavius, but AU's going to TP in, and now the turnaround. A three-man rebound. Xavius, he might drop, but he's setting up a kill onto Q. Still running. Does find a courier. We'll leave it be. Purification out. Xavius breaking some ankles, but it's not going to be enough. He will drop. AU now the chase is Savage. He's not done yet. Pounces there onto the Omni Knight. A lot of Essence shift stacks being taken. Hyde's there with the disruption. This should be another, and AU will drop, but now Hyde. He will give another kill back the way of Force. And the one big problem I see about those two kills for Talon is Hyde picked up both of them.
Amazing what you'll find laying
Yeah, it's not ideal. You definitely want that on Savage. You want him to get this investment from the trial lane for himself. But you're still happy enough to find these kills. Polaris are finding openings. They understand, with just a little bit of save out from AU, the lane just changes massively. And they'll actually send AU walking back up top. With the saves on hand from this Omni Knight, what he angles AU's finding, his spacing in these fights, it's gonna be tough for Talon to keep committing that aggression. And the one-on-one lane for Natsumi is a little bit more manageable because you're not feeding as much decay out onto KP. He's not able to trade as well because you're not getting as much strength with every spell use. So it's a good way to just repair. Just go for your own trial and be aggressive yourselves.
Healing wounds are being contested. Hyde able to take one. Lelouch already got the other one anyway though, so he's more than happy with that. Makoto will not be able to fill up his own bottle. Unfortunate for him. So it is a 2-3 so far. Talon, they are one game ahead in this game too. It's a very close kind of game here between these two teams, and I suppose the one main concern I have looking back at the mid lane here for Talon, Lelouch is farming way too well on the Ember. Right? He had a great game on the Lina. I'd say he's even better when it comes to playing Ember, and he's having a very free laning stage so far.
He's not being slowed down. At the same time, it's not as dominant as the Lina game. So Mikado is having a little bit more play. I think that's at least a point of solace here for the side of Talon. Mikado's going to hit his level 6 fairly fast enough, but without any rotations onto the Ember mid, I don't see any way you're going to chain stun him here and look for that opportunity for Mikado. We do have the pause. Internet issues abound once more. It is Southeast Asia. We can have some quick reconnects here, Mike.
I don't know what these players are complaining about, John. I play SCA on 100 ping. If I can do it, they can do it. It is TI qualifier. I'm just joking around. Obviously, they need their 0 ping or 1 ping or whatever it is. Fair enough. We'll get the reconnections going. The CA server has felt rather stable recently, though, I might add, John. Props to the people in charge. I say rather stable. It's not, up 24/7 in the way you'd like it to be, but it's been better than usual.
I know. I've still been having coordinator issues at night. Nighttime just doesn't feel great. Sometimes games don't even register until like an hour after, so it's even a bit touch and go. Again, lots of people playing, and that's a good sign that lots of people are still playing as well, which is always good for the health of the game. But yeah, it's still been a little bit shaky. I think this is just a routing issue. I believe before this series, Polaris did mention switching networks to the backup, so maybe it's acting up as well, and maybe having to just double check.
This is one of the things in SCA that you see a lot, right? Like, these teams do need to have 2 different connections just in case, and it's just what you got to do, right? If you're seriously trying to contend for TI-11, have those backup networks ready to go. So you really don't want to be stuck playing on 100 ping in a TI-11 qualifier grand final of all things. Polaris, they'll be all back. Hopefully the ping issues have been resolved. Find out very, very soon. Going back to the tri lane while we're waiting, Talon, so far finding success with the tri lane. Savage is having some decent time farming on the Slark compared to, say, Natsumi on the PL. Problem is, Polaris now, they're kind of contesting with their own tri lane, and the positive about doing an aggressive tri lane on Polaris's end is you can stack the triangle, and you are seeing AU do exactly that. And it's always going to be very effective when you have something like an Ember who can farm those large camp stacks very effectively. So there is a bit of an advantage on doing it on the right, the off-lane tri lane here for Polaris.
Have that build-up ready to go. Once you are ready to clear on Malusia, he's going to have a great time just increasing his lead. It's, again, not that massive in comparison to Mikado, especially in relation to game 1, but it is still there, and the Ember is still going to feel a lot better with the early item pickups. And phase boots into Orb of Corrosion can just run a lot of these heroes down from Talon's end. For Talon, even with this kind of start with the trial and top, their draft does feel slower. Your Slark will want a lot of items. Savage, he wants to go Diffusal Ags, and that's going to take some time. Compared to the farming pace of a PL in the jungle as well, it does feel like even if Natsumi has the slower start up against KP solo, once he does dip in with illusions, it's not going to take too long.
Hyde, he got caught by a rebound. Xavier's not able to get to dispose yet, but they are on the chase and they will eventually find it. Hyde, no way to survive. He's already committed the disruption. Nothing they can do to help out because Q already committed the Fisher. Another nice pickup here for Force on the Viper. That'll be his 2nd kill of the game. The Talon, as long as this Slark is hitting creeps, they are happy, but Polaris are getting warmed up here in this offlane.
They're getting started, and their lineup is already geared for aggression. Nice block, though.
Makoto, he's here. Rolling Thunder, he'll try to salvage. Force, not going to get that free lane he wanted. Makoto with a very strong rotation. Something they weren't quite expecting, and they will be able to secure a kill this time for Q on the Earthshaker. Problem is, mid-tier 1 is being forced in now. Polaris, they've got a siege creep. The timing isn't exactly perfect here from Talon, as you give up a bit of damage the way the tier 1 mid tower. But Lelouch's not giving up either. He keeps going, but Makoto is going to be able to just take care of the creep wave. And in the meantime, Natsumi ends up going down. KP able to set up. In comes Q with the Fisher, landing on 2 heroes. And Force looks like he's just going to go for Q instead. Q just moving right forward, just saying, take my life instead of KP's. He will make it as hard as humanly possible. He will juke through the tree line. In fact, KP's coming back in with some decays. And Q's out of it. He is not dropping.
Radiant's courier has been
they managed to get that space out. Very important solo kill for KP to find, and drags the attention to himself. They're diving in deep up top. Are forced to TP away though.
Lelouch, he'll show up. Hide. With chains. Lock in the, won't lock in the Shadow Demon. Should be okay. The wasted rotation this time from Lelouch. Able to find a kill that he'd like, and now Makoto's making another rotation. I mean, Rolling Thunder is a very low cooldown, so it is back up. Never mind, he might just wait for the 8-minute power rune before he tries again. Show back up into the mid lane. You've got Hyde right behind him, but I don't think the SD can really look to set up here for Makoto. He's just trying to make sure that they do in fact get the power rune or at least deny it away, but Lelouch is going to be able to pick it up anyway. Does get lucky with the RNG. Pick up an Invis rune for himself.
Should allow him to maybe look for movement out if he so wishes. There are some good sentries watching towards mid. They should be able to spot that rotation out. It does come true on Talon's end. Mikado's still looking for play down bot. They scan out. KB is very deep in here.
He's in by himself. The Tombstone's kind of just been left to go, I think. The Soul Rip is there. Force is still dropping. Eventually denied off by KP, so no gold to go the way of Force. And now with Makoto around, they take him. It seems like Talon have recognized that Force is the main problem here on the side of Polaris. And they just continue to make this Viper's life a living hell.
Yeah, with Force just being forced to be down at bot. I mean, the top lane's just so much more free for Savage, and all sides of Talon now are starting to find a little bit of better farm, which is important. You know, you gotta force Force to do something he forcefully doesn't want to do.
Oh, that's 3 times, John. You used Force 3 times in that sentence. My God. Start laughing at you. Just amp it up a little bit. I'll up it. See how he likes this one.
Gotta find ways, Mike. He's still 3-6, 3K lead for Talon the early game. Looking a lot better in comparison to game 1. They are still getting some aggressive moves out from Polaris, and they're looking to really hammer in mid. They have a good understanding of just what kind of game Talon likes to play. They love to play the slower game that does require the map control mid provides. They don't quite fully commit for it, but they do have forward wards now, so they can kind of contest the jungle, keep up as to where Savage might be farming up, get a little bit more aggressive there. The one issue for Polaris here, I mean, there's still the shard buildup you could get in Force, but the early push is definitely not as fast with the heroes you have on hand here. Unless you just constantly sidekick someone, but Zavis only has that level 1.
The 6, 4K advantage, Talon, having a much better time. A lot of stacks to be taken now by Savage in their own dire jungle. Makoto will help out. Not much farm to go back the way of the slant. And something you kind of pointed out earlier, right? Like, you're going for this diffusal blade into the axe timing. You want that gold ASAP, and Savage, you'll have the diffusal up rather soon with the way this is going. Happy days for him, unless he dies. Boy, that was very close. Has to pop the Shadow Dance just in case. A little bit twitchy on the fingers there, Savage.
Yeah, and he's gonna be a pretty vulnerable target if the side of Polaris wants to gank him down, but they're still sort of focused mid. And they're getting some space out for Force to farm top, and just kind of buying some room here to get that build up going for Natsumi as well. Still emphasizing mid more than anything else.
Oh, nice juke out. Would not allow the Fisher there from Q. Speaking of Q, immediate smoke up.
Under a ward.
Dakota. Under a ward. A little bit unfortunate. But they know the smoke is coming toward that top lane. Force is immediately dragging that creep wave back towards his own tier 1 tower, and look at this, they're right behind him. There's a counter smoke happening. Q, he's gonna have his smoke broken. Sees Lelouch, doesn't really want to be here. Makoto, he does have Rolling Thunder, so they might try for this. In fact, KP has also TP'd over. They'll make the jump in onto the Viper, but Force, he's got AU to back him up. Still, the Rolling Thunder is still going. Meanwhile, Lelouch has been trapped off the Echo Slam. It was committed, but Lelouch, he's not dying yet. He will remnant out. And he's going to be just fine, as nobody trumps top lane. They are still chasing Force on the Viper, but he is way too far back. So nothing comes out from either side.
It's a bigger commitment out from Talon, using so many ults to try to find that kill. It's kind of losing some time here. The side of Polaris can get a push out going now. They've got Unleash on Xavier, so he could actually just melt that mid tier 1. They've got to be able to respond here on Talon's end, and they are sending the heroes back in. But knowing that the roll's down for longer and knowing that there's no slam to threaten from Q should provide some openings here for Polaris to kind of dig deeper if they want.
Kodo, be fine. We'll dodge the rebound in the mid lane, and Q was there to back him up anyway. Talon really making sure Makoto does not get caught. Considering top net worths are right now all the cores of Talon. They don't want any of those cores dying at the moment. Polaris, they do want that comeback goal to go their way. Group up top lane here from Polaris. KP is around to defend on the Undying. It's actually quite nice trying to push the creep wave as well because they've got the max level decay. So a lot of damage is mid lane. Lush going to be able to back his way out once again. He'll go for a reset. It's like Polaris will keep trying to push in that top tier 1 tower, but there is going to be a smoke rotation. Talon, they want to force another fight. They don't have Echo Slam this time, but it's not like you have the Blink Dagger up anyway. Not too big of a deal. You're more reliant on the Rolling Thunder and Tombstone if you are on this dire side. But Polaris, very, very good game sense. Do read the map. Do understand that Talon are missing, and they just back off. Talon, looks like they're going to find nothing out of this smoke.
Just more time kind of expended here, while Polaris just goes back to farming, getting that build-up they'd want, going into that Maelstrom timing for Lelouch. Managed to buy a lot of space out for Natsumi as well. He's got the Midas up on our PL. He is getting a nice pacing onto the Diffusal Blade of his own. Stretches being a massive nuisance to the side of town once that's up and running. It's a little bit, you know, kind of slowing down a bit. Both sides just wanting to get that farm. They are starting to clump up mid once more. But Mikado is around to at least constantly shove out that creep wave, so it is a little bit harder to commit. They do jump though.
They do make the jump in. Makoto in big trouble. Dispose is there. They'll swat shield crash away. So the chase is on, but he's got help right behind him. Lelouch forced the remnant back towards his tier 1 tower. It seems like the Marcy is fine to back her way out.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
AU even hanging around with the Omni Knight just in case. Makoto dropping very low. Xavius, he's having a look around to see if he can snipe him. Kind of hard without the rebound to set up, but he is still having a look. We'll go for a TP play out. The K is there, but they will not react in time. Unfortunate once again from Talon. Savage now mid lane. He'll chase down AU on the Omni, but can't really lock him down. AU's fine.
They're just dodging out from the aggression of Talon early on, and for Polaris, you're also playing passive, but the scaling of their lineup just feels a lot better. You've got the PL, you've got the Ember, you've got mobility and illusion spam as the game goes late. For Talon, it feels like their spike it's not as big. Relies on really clean plays coming out that just hasn't been lining up recently. And for Polaris, just forcing Talon to constantly group up as Tree on mid. I mean, it means that you're really not getting that build-up. KP desperately wants that BKB, so you can just keep committing, but he's having to respond to the clump-ups every time. And they are allowing Savage to farm. He's got the Diffusal up. He's going into the Ags next. But they still need to keep stalling, and again, it's coming at sacrifices now, while allowing Polaris to also get that build-up and not swing.
Yeah. Mid lane. Push is going. Siege creep is up. Talon. They've got the Tombstone to play with here from KP. They've got the Echo Slam of Q. Again, no blink to set up, but it won't matter. They've still got the spell ability ready to go. If a fight does get forced out, they won't catch Lelouch, but they are still doing so much damage into the tier 1, and the Fisher made it rather awkward. Now Lelouch, he does get jumped. They pounce on him, and the Echo Slam. It's going to make sure he cannot make it out. AU could not save as Savage. He'll dive right in. He'll find another.
Radiant's middle
the Omni
tower
down.
has fallen.
Talon, they'll find 2 and the tier 1 mid tower. And that's exactly what you want to see if you're a Talon fan.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They get the big kills they want. They open up the map. They're finding their aggression here in Talonson. But Polaris, they hit this timing on Natsumi. He's got the Diffusal Blade up. So the PL can actually start joining in. Maybe not the safest. Probably still needs more stat items on hand. But he's got the potential to just be opportunistic. Pick and choose his fights, find some good pickoffs, hold back the side of Talon, and punish if they do overextend. So it's not really the end of the world for Polaris. They are 4K behind, but it does look like that farm differential. If you look at the graph here, Mike, it's mainly on Hyde and Q. Like, Force and Lelouch are lagging a bit behind, but the gaps aren't that massive, except for Lelouch, who has, you know, been stuck on mid just as much as Mikado. but hasn't been able to really get kills of his own either. So maybe the one hurting point on the Ember, but the Ember's still a very slippery hero, and you saw how much Talon had to commit to find that kill.
Absolutely. Kodo gonna cancel off the Rolling Thunder for now. Force has been purged up by Hyde. Force, he's still quite tanky, but there's your Rolling Thunder. Heavenly Grace Purification is out from AU, but the lockdown, KB, he is running right in. He is just so tanky on the Undying, but they are gonna force them to back. They don't want to dive into that T2 tower quite yet. Especially with that 4K lead they have. It's not quite large enough to dive Tier 2s yet, but it is large enough to give away to Polaris and throw the game. So you've got to play cautiously still as Talon.
Definitely got to play it safe. They're starting to get some pings out onto Natsumi. Natsumi gets a good read to back off. Oh, Q doesn't quite fish it the right way. So manages to bail out. Still keeping that build up on Natsumi. And I think towards the late game, it's still really tough for the Slark to deal with a PL. Like, you've got to get the right jump on the illusion. You do have this AoE clear coming out with the Pangolier and with the Shaker. But just landing onto that PL while also worrying about the Ember, it's just really tough. And I think Polaris, again, they're comfier with a slower game here, which is really surprising because it tends to be Talon who wants to go slower. But now Polaris are more than happy to also stall the game out, confident in their win conditions.
Still grouping up mid. Natsumi joining a little bit, just throw those illusions out, start to get a little bit annoying with that diffusal blade. You can poke and prod, even just go after the creep wave with these illusions.
Is under attack.
Talon look like they really want another objective, just not wanting to play into the late game of the PL.
Dire's top tower.
Natsumi top of the net worth board now, but nowhere near that level 25 mark. He's still just level 13. Plus the 25 mark with that doppelganger Talon is when things get really silly as this Phantom Lancer. Still got a while to go for that. Certainly is getting to a stage though where he can join his team. Savage, on the other hand, getting closer to his axe. Only 2k gold away on the slot. Huge power spike for Savage once he does have that up. And they are still the stronger team here with this draft, so they are going to move into that bottom tier 2 tower. And it seems like there'll be no defense to come from Polaris.
They don't even have a good opportunity to go for a fortify until the creep wave comes in, and by then, tower's a little bit too low already. So freebie coming out from Talon, immediate pings towards the mid. The smoke and TPs are out here from Talon already.
Well, there's a double damage rune down to that pot rune spot. You'll love to see that if you're Makoto. Happily bottle that one up. Now they want the fight. No two ways about it. It's either the fight or Roshan they're going for. They don't exactly have the best Roshi lineup, so they'll try and force a fight. AU is going to be spotted on the Omni. It's not the biggest kill in the world, but it is something. Makoto, he'll go ahead and take it. He'll save the DD rune. Only pops the Rolling Thunder. But it is still just a pos 5 Omni Knight at the end.
It's not the biggest kill in the world. Respawns are also fairly short, but it does still give you a little bit more room. It also does allow you to maybe check for wards, although AU didn't quite drop any. And for AU's part, I mean, he's buying space. He cops the smoke gank. He's still allowing Natsumi to farm. Manta style is going to be the timing for Natsumi where you can really start to consider joining these fights with at least one defensive item on hand. And that's where things might get a little bit scarier for Talon. They still hold this 5 to 16 net worth lead. They've got the BKB up on KP. The blink up on Mikado is going to be really big as well in terms of trying to get that lockdown onto these slippery heroes. And as you mentioned, Savage is inching towards that Ags here. So with the longer range pounce, with the charges on the pounce, you do have tools on hand to kind of clip in that Ember, clip in the PL if you manage to somehow find that angle. And it is up now for Savage, so you might look to play here.
Absolutely, they definitely want the fight. Talon, they are moving into that Radiant Triangle. Savage right in by the Tier 2 tower. Force staff away from AU, just trying to get away from this slide for the Rolling Thunder. Gonna lock him down. Now they found Force. They found Natsumi. That's the Phantom Lancer being caught, and he is gone. Q is not wasting any time with this Echo Slam. He drops it immediately. They even got Xavius. In they go for more. Into the Tier 3 tower. They will find Force from the Viper. 4 down. The only survivor being Lelouch for Polaris Esports. But Talon, they have hit a timing. And my god, are they abusing it.
That is just insane value immediately from Savage. I didn't expect them to instantly find such big kills. Polaris didn't expect the Slug to be that mobile. Like these charges on the pounds, but how low cooldown it is, it just allows you to do so much. I mean, getting that pounce onto Natsumi was the big one. They lock in the real PL, they get the good slam out from Q, and again, going back to that Shaker versus PL dynamic, like, if you do lock in the PL and prevent it from using the Doppler, slam is still pretty big damage. So Natsumi has to weave himself in and out. He needs that protection for the Manta, and Talon just find a way to sneak right in, getting instant value out from Savage.
Q has been doing a really good job on this Earthshaker so far. Like, just the fishes alone have been so effective. Just multi-man fishes over and over again. Times with a good fisher, you don't even need the Echo Slam. To blink up though, he'll be happy to pop the Echo Slam for a big one. Top lane, they'll try onto the Marcy. Might be there, the disruption. Good off. That'll be another kill to go the way of Makoto. Talon now 9k ahead in terms of their worth.
Radiant's
and really no signs of slowing down. In fact, Natsumi is going to be spotted. Makoto immediately into the Rolling Thunder. His team is nearby, and he can just perma-stun up this PL. Where's the Doppel? He hasn't got it yet. Another pounce is in. Savage right on to that Phantom Lancer, and he does at least get away for a little bit, but Savage is not done. He gets another pounce. He gets the pause 1 PL down for 45 seconds. And the voice lines keep going. Talon into the tier 2 top. They'll back off for now. Maybe try for Roshan. And that's where they're headed.
They've got the opening for it. I mean, Mikado with his confidence in that fight, just showing up knowing that with Q, they could buy so much time. We've seen this multiple times out of Talon in this game already. Just great Fisher block into the chain stuns from the rolls, and Savage again weaving that thread through the needle. These excellent pounces to follow up. And just secures them a big objective, widening that lead 3 to 15, 11k up. First rush of the game, and going the way of Talon, and they hand it over to Mikado to have him protected in the front line. The big issue for Polaris here, Mike, is that with Force in this kind of game, this is the kind of game where you look at the offlane Viper and you realize it's probably not going to have that much impact. Force, he's not going to be farm priority. He's kind of misses level spikes. So for Polaris, I think the only way they get value from the Viper now is just accept that they're going to have to use Force as a sacrifice to buy all the space for everyone else.
And that goes back to the tri-lane, right? Like the brilliance of Talon to try and make the tri-lane happen up at top side and make sure the Viper just can't dominate the lane. It's completely shut down Force. And considering how important Force has been throughout all the series we've watched at Polaris, that's a real problem. It's just huge.
Yeah, I mean, you talked about the potential of the Viper on a strong start with the Ag shard timing into the push. We're not seeing any of that. He does have the Force Staff to save from the pounce. That is a lot of utility. But outside of that, I mean, you can't really do anything.
AU on the Omni Knight. He cannot afford to die this early, but he is gone. You need that Pos 5 Omni to back you up for this tier 2 tower defense. It's not going to be there now. Q's still holding onto the Blink Echo Slam as well, so it's going to be very hard to try and defend this. Fisher off the mark. There was a slight of fist dodge. It will not catch Lelouch. Rolling Thunder though does catch Xavius on the left side, but no real teammates around to help him. Call it a zoning Rolling Thunder. Mid tier 2 is slowly being chipped away out in Talon. They will pick it up, no problem.
They're clearing out the map. Polaris only stuck with one outer tower left. I mean, they're still managing to sneak Natsumi outside. With Midas, with his farming pace, he's not that far behind.
Staff away in the Viper, just so scary once Savage closes the gap with that pounce. Desperately just trying to buy more time for Natsumi. They know later on the PL will outscale everyone on the side of Talon. He just needs time. Battle Taras being worked on, but it's kind of a matter of how much time you have left, because Talon, they are all over this game too. 14k advantage now. Natsumi will TP out of the top lane, but Makoto is just there to defend. Let's push out the creep wave once again. Polaris, I mean, they are grouped up mid lane, but it just doesn't feel like they can smoke up and try to force a fight yet. Maybe they're forced to try so, but You're not farmed enough in the PL to really get involved, I don't think. Not against his Slark and not against his Pango.
You at least have his protection now on the Lelouch. He has his own BKB. He's not going to get chain stunned. The only hope you have right now on Talon is having to expend that demonic purge onto that Ember, but he's always going to have a remnant back there to save. You have more play coming out from Lelouch. That is a good sign here for Polaris and kind of trying to stave off Talon and the aggression they're showing so far. For Talon's part, only a minute 40 left on that Aegis. So they're gonna just have to maybe take a tier 2. High ground still feels like a little bit of a tough prospect considering the play Polaris has on hand. They can't just keep spamming out these illusions from Natsumi in the high ground defense, which is where that PL really shines, and that's why the shard that Natsumi has is really important in stalling that game out. But with the map control Talon has elsewhere, I don't think you'll mind a stalled out high ground push. PL is still going big though. And if it does stall long enough for that heart you mentioned to come into play here, Mike, as long as Natsumi doesn't get caught by the pounce twice over, you're gonna be fine. So you've got all your cards there.
Speaking of that pounce, AU's gonna get caught out here. Savage, he'll take another easy pick off onto the Omni Knight. With the 8th permanent agility stack here for Savage. Going back to the PO point you were making, like Heart of Tarask, and then I believe the Eye of Skadi will come out here for Natsumi, and around that point you'll have 4k plus HP. Maybe just a little bit less than 4k, but that's... You have enough time to tank through the damage of the Slark, I think, is the point. And a nice way to reset throughout the team fight. But looking at the farm of Natsumi, he has such a long way to go before that point. Such a long way.
He's even going for the Aether Lens first now. He's got that queued up, so he understands with the longer game, Spirit Lance spam has to come in. Polaris though trying to go for a sneaky smoke here, Mike, on the left side top lane.
Pound Savage. He's right in. He's right onto the PL. Starting him up, leashing him up. There's the pin up. Q not letting him go. Mana's down. He is gone. He does have buyback for this fight if they need it. Q. He will go down as well. Lelouch setting up Savage. He's forced to BKB, but he just keeps fighting. He is getting a lot of stacks through here from the side of Polaris. Savage is going to back off for now. Back into the tier 3 tower. Polaris are the ones that need to find a way to defend this. 16k advantage here for Talon. At least with the Viper, you can slowly chip away at Talon. They don't have the greatest tower push. Even with this many agility stacks on Savage, he's gonna keep trying to chip away. Chains are out. Rebound was there, but it's not gonna land in time. But they just need to force Talon away because they don't want Natsumi to be forced to buy back. And he won't be.
Still a successful hold out from Polaris. Stall out this game, but they lose a really big hero. I mean, we just talked about Natsumi and how key he is to this game.
Side lanes and just buying more time. Because Savage is always on the hunt as this Slark. That's what makes it so scary to try and do this, but you've really got no choice. You have to get it done before Talon make it back to the high ground.
Just keep shoving back, keep stalling. Unfortunately, this stall would just lead to the next rush, and without outer control here from Polaris, going into the rush is just a lot tougher. There's some forward wards in the triangle here from Talon to protect. They can still try to sneak away with a smoke, but how do you really initiate on Polaris? You rely on Xavius to jump in. He doesn't have the BKB or the blink up yet. So if the Marcy does go with a rebound first, she's just kind of dead. You could try Lelouch with a BKB, but the Basher's been up on Mikado for a while. So if they get lucky, you suddenly catch that Ember in a very awkward position. causes even more issues. So your angles are limited here on Polaris.
They're trying so hard to catch the Ember. He was even there just with the Fisher, but Remnant's away. Lelouch knows. Makoto top lane by himself. Heading forward, he'll get the Rolling Thunder off. Rebound was not there in time, and now the turnaround. His team is cutting in. Slark from the mid lane is trying to move in and force his fight. Rebound. While the Rolling Thunder is still going, this Marcy has been caught. Xavier's needs a rebound target, but can't find one. So Makoto's the one to take the killers now. They make the jump in, but Savage on the wrong side of the Fisher will pounce right in onto Force. Gets the Viper, takes all the stats away, but cannot dive too deep. He is forced to back off. Again, you don't want to throw this game back the way of Polaris if you can avoid it as Talon, because it can swing back the other way very quickly if you give up a good team fight. So Talon, they are going to be conservative. Wait for the next Roshan. The only problem is for Talon, Roshan is 2 minutes away.
It's time to respond here for Polaris. Time for them to try and equalize these lanes, get that build-up they want on Natsumi. He does switch back. He's still going for the Aether Lens, alright. Which is fair enough. Again, spamming out the spells is going to be important. Oh, no, he queues back to just the Heart of Tarrasque. So it just wants that HP. Probably not going to rely on that good old Pale Horse build that we usually see from Phantom Lancer. In fact, this is a hybrid build. Doesn't Speed love Midas on every hero as well, including PL? There you go.
Oh, well.
He was very ahead of his time.
He definitely was, John. He definitely was. Smoke is up. Polaris Esports. 5-man smoke, but where are they heading? I claim they're going to find Makoto. He's been very hard to catch recently on this Pango. Rolling Thunder is back up with the roll-up, so it makes it very challenging. Makoto has been very quick with the reactions as well, especially with the rebound initiation. Never able to land the stun in time here on Makoto before the roll-up is there. Like Polaris, they're going to smoke again. They'll pop another one. They'll get some wards down. Heart of Tarrasque is now up on Natsumi, but he's got no buyback gold. Polaris, they just check the Roshan pit for now. Just kind of keeping tabs on what's going on in the pit. Still wrapping around. A very awkward smoke attempt from Polaris. They'll get a bounty for their trouble. It seems like they literally just want to know when Roche is up. That might be the fight they have to take. Smoke broken, hide, disruption is there. Who's going to make the jump in? Makoto, he's around. They cannot land the stun in time, and now the turnaround. Talon all over it. Have locked down Xavius, locking down Force from the Viper, Force from the BKB usage early on. Force, he will just TP out with this and try to get out. Makoto does not bash through the BKB sadly, but they even found Lelouch. Massive kills for Talon.
That's dire straits for Polaris now. Maybe forced to buy back for high ground if Talon does force the issue, and with a buyback commitment, turn around for the Roche. So the output now from Natsumi is huge, but he has to be careful.
Counts in, but forced off away. Natsumi, oh, Savage, he's very, very deep. Yellow Dance is there, he'll turn around into the tier 4 towers now. A lot of damage on that Viper, but is he going too far? Guardian Angel is out. Savage, he finds one with the Fisher. It's blocked him the other way, but he's got Pounce available if he needs it. He should be okay in just a moment. He's very confident with his ability to just regen through all that damage output.
The main big issue for Polaris is just the lack for something like the Slark. If you have no hard Hex, you still only have Rebound in the chains, and that's just not enough to lock Savage in.
Rebound in again. Hide. Does get caught. Will go down. That's something. They do lose their mid-melee barracks, and Natsumi, he's going to try to rush forward onto Makoto, but he just doesn't feel farmed enough to actually try and go for any kills. Not onto the cause of Talon.
Just have to be conservative, you know. You only lose Amelia Rax, not the biggest loss in the world. Polaris can still hang on to this game. And they are in a position where they can contest or sneak Roche. They've got the wards in the area. Talon are pretty blind right now in this position. So Polaris can try to be sneaky here, and they desperately need Hyde. Like, he is a big part of these team fights. That Demonic Purge is providing them with the openings. The Disseminate with the damage you're doing to Illusion just bounces a lot. You need that damage out of Amp. Savage though?
Savage.
Poking.
Very aggressive jump in. This is all by himself. He has the depth shroud, he has the shadow dance, so he'll pop the ulti first. Makoto, however, getting caught, still trying to find Natsumi. Now the fish is there. Q waiting for the BKBs to wear up for that Echo Slam. Won't throw it out yet. Instead it's Xavius who gets caught out on the Marcy and will drop. AU, he'll be right after. The Omni Knight is gone as Savage. Trying to find a little bit more heal to Slark. KP's gonna find Natsumi. He's there with the Fisher. That's a great block out. Natsumi, he'll topple away, but the Echo Slam gonna lock him down. He is gone. No buyback available. Onto Roshan, they call it GG. They don't believe they can make the comeback after the Aegis is taken, and I would agree with that sentiment. Polaris, they will lose game 2 in Talon. They will even out this grand final 1-1.
Yeah, a spectacular bounce back for Talon. For Polaris, I mean, they went back to that same opening, Omni Knight and Marcy.